Hello, friends, and welcome to Prism Break out of the Pokeball. I'm Panic, and I'm here with Pixel.
Hi.
And this podcast is us discussing the most current events in Pokemon, general everything Pokemon. The first thing we want to talk about um, is probably us, because this is our first podcast. So, Pixel, if you want to tell people about you, what your Pokemon background is, and then I'll dive in, and then we'll just jump into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, I'm Pixel. I am the resident artist at pixelandpanic.com. So we do have a website where we sell Pokemon cards and all sorts of Pokemon memorabilia and products. So definitely check us out if you're looking for the perfect gift. But enough about the
Always be
website.
plugging. Always be plugging. Always
Always
be
be
plugging.
plugging.
Yeah.
I have been an artist for quite some time, but I kind of started leaning more into Pokemon when I was actually selling on Whatnot, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how we met.
You
That is how
came
we
into
met.
my stream and I was like, "Damn, this guy's so fun." Cuz you were
Yeah, well, I
you were
tried
just
to be. I
chatting.
mean,
And I was like, "People
I
don't
kind
chat.
of
They just ask for deals."
I'm known for my talking, which I guess explains this podcast. And the thing is, when I jumped into your stream, what kept me around was I think I kept winning the giveaways.
Yeah.
I just
You won
kept
like
winning even
3 in
before.
a row.
Yeah, I just kept winning, and I ended up winning a Marnie from you early on. It was the base set ETB that you gave, which was worth a lot. I
Yes.
was confused you gave that away. Anyway, I was very confused. I was like, let's go. I took it and you pulled me a Marnie, which was the chase card from that set. And I was like, man, I gotta keep coming back. Like, I'm grateful. And you guys are getting that graded for me. We're still waiting on that, even though it's been 4 months, maybe
Oh
five at this
my
point.
god, dude, leave it to PSA. Leave it to PSA.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But so and my background is I've been involved in Pokemon pretty much my whole life. Um, I collect Pokemon. I play the TCG. I play the
Mhm.
video games. Anything Pokemon. I even have Pokemon. What's it called? Scramble. Yeah, Pokemon.
Pajamas.
No, I think I do. I think I probably do. Um, so everything Pokemon I've been involved with ever since 1999 when I was a little wee child in Jordan, the country. Uh, if you're not familiar. So that's where we are. That's our Pokemon background right now. I remember noticing that you didn't know much about Pokemon
Oh,
because
yeah, I'm a newbie.
you'd always pronounce the names of the Pokemon in a fun way, and I was like, "Yo, that's hilarious! I've never heard anyone pronounce it that way." So that's who we are, and that's where we're coming from.
You know what was really hard?
Tell me.
Okay, so when I first started selling on Whatnot, we started with Japanese cards, okay?
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
me not knowing shiza about about any
Yeah.
Pokemon unless it's Pikachu or Charizard or Leafeon. I was like, just making up, like,
Yeah.
weird names for them because I like, what's his name? Whooper? The Paldean
Yeah,
Whooper?
Whooper,
His name
yep.
was just
Yep.
Axel because of
Oh,
he's
I
an
mean, but
axolotl.
that adds to the charm. That's probably why you had so many followers.
Yeah.
But now, as we're recording this, it is early November, and Paradox Rift just released the previous Friday. And so far, I've opened one box, and you've opened what?
I opened a booster box, an ETB, and a booster bundle, and I lost.
What do you mean you lost?
I lost in the card wars that you and I were definitely not playing because you had no idea we were playing.
Oh, I didn't know. No, I had no idea. I just opened my one booster box, and I had probably the best booster box in terms of pure rarity pulls, minus the
Yeah.
Canadian Fusion Strike, which is another story. But the short end of that is I bought 4 booster boxes of Fusion Strike at one point 2 years ago
From Canada.
from Canada, and
Canadian
they all
boxes
were
just hit different.
they were all loaded with just hits. Each came with at least 9 rainbows, 2 or 3 alt arts, 2 golds, whatever. It was crazy. So if you ever hear us talk about Canadian Fusion Strike boxes, you'll know what
You
we
know
mean.
what's up.
That was the only exception. Let me tell you what I pulled. 36 packs, obviously.
Mhm.
I pulled the alt art Mela.
Mela?
I pulled the full art Mela. I pulled the gold Garchomp EX, the
The gold
terrestrialized one,
one?
obviously. I'm not sure if
Dang.
people are familiar. Yeah, you have the picture of them.
Yeah, I didn't see
I
that.
pick I got this No Runt, which is one I really wanted. That's a art rare. The Steelix, I don't love this card, but I think it's charming because Steelix is like working in construction. That's cute. You
Yeah,
know, we like a blue collar worker.
we stand a
Um,
blue collar worker.
and I got the Frostlass EX, the terrestrialized full art, and then I got one, two, five ultra rare EXs. So I got Altaria,
Jesus.
Sarina, Agslash, Armarouge, and Skeledirge. Now, obviously, the
Are those
chase
the full
cards
arts?
here. No, those are all just EXs, like your standard
Okay.
EX. The ultra, that's what they're called, ultra rare, I think, unless I'm wrong on that front.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't get nearly I got 2 Rikas, like the full arts, not even the alt arts, just 2 Rikas, which reminds me, my luck with these booster boxes is I always get duplicates of the same low value card. So,
oh,
when I opened Paldea Evolved, I got in 1 booster box, I think, like, 3 Dendras?
I
3.
love Dendra though.
And they're like $4.
I
I
know,
was like,
but that was Paldea Evolved, right?
Yeah, that
I
was
mean, that's
Paldea.
the issue we're having right now with
And I
the
still haven't pulled a magic
we're
card.
having issues with pull rates and with not really pull rates. I'll explain what I mean. We're having issues with the Scarlet and Violet era. We're having issues with cards being high value compared to like
Yeah.
the $100 plus cards. Now, I think the one that reached the highest value was the Iono Alt Art, which was over 100 for a while, but now it's at 80 as we're recording this.
Yeah, and then also
So
the
I don't.
Charizard, what is it, like, art rare? From 151?
Yeah. Yep.
That reached pretty
Yep.
high too.
Uh, yes, that one is over 100. Correct. Sorry, my apologies. That one's hard to pull. As I
That one's
understand,
really hard to pull.
I have it in Japanese, and now it's on its way to PSA. The thing about that is the cards are not having really high value, and I really, really believe that as Sword and Shield is rotated out of the competitive meta, I think we'll see a lot of boosting of the Scarlet and Violet era. Now, I will note that my career is a financial economist. That's what I do for a living. Unfortunately, podcasting has not yet paid the bills as this is our first one. Um, but so my role in Pokemon, um, Bev brings the art. I do a lot of the business elements of Pixel and Panic, but I also do investor analysis
Mhm.
of Pokemon sealed product, and singles, stuff like that. I do that for myself. I've been able to make a decent amount of money instead of trading stocks, trading just Pokemon, which is an interesting experiment that has gone way better than I expected. But granted, the pandemic made anyone who invested in anything richer somehow.
Yeah.
It was a weird time, especially in the world of investing.
Yeah.
But to say right now, we're sitting on, the beginning of the Paradox Rift time until January when another set comes out.
What comes out in January?
The next set, I forget what it is exactly.
Dang,
I think
okay.
it might be the
Oh,
shiny
the
set. This
shiny set
Yeah.
that's releasing in
Yeah.
Japan soon, right?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
so
yes.
cool.
So I think that's what's next. So the reason I say all that is I'm looking at you talk about pulling low value cards.
Yeah.
I think the Dendra will be a high value card in
It
about a year or so.
There's just no way it can't be, like, the art is so cool,
I
especially
agree. I agree.
not the normal full art, but the illustration where she's, like, looking back. The brush strokes, like, you can see how much work was put into the art, and it's just so frustrating that the
Yes.
coolest looking cards are the lowest value. Like, Lechonk,
Yeah,
I can't even tell you how much time the artist put into that card. So nice. Cleffa from Obsidian Flames,
I agree.
dear god, such a nice card.
I know the
And
Cleffa
they're
is
like
under like
$2.
yeah, people overlook the Obsidian Flames era
Mhm.
set. They focus on the Charizard and say there's nothing else, and I disagree.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
can't tell you how many people said it was just another Charizard set. It's like, "No, have you seen these cards? Gita, So nice. And they're finally like introducing artists from around the world, which is just going to expand the type of art that these cards have, which we're
Yeah.
kind of seeing with Paradox Rift too, which is really nice.
And Paradox Rift is interesting. It's like the opposite of Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames gave you a whole lot of fan service.
Mhm.
For me, it gave me a Lechonk, my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. And to have my Gen 9 Lechonk
Forever
as an art
immortalized in
rare
a
was a big
card.
moment.
Yeah, I like Ice Cube,
Yes.
the one where he's on fire. Like,
Yes.
flying
Oh
through
my
the
god,
sky.
that one's
It's
another
such
one
a
that's
nice one.
beautiful. Like it's so simple. People saw anyway. But we should talk about Paradox Rift.
Yes, yes.
So tell me about your polls. I told you my polls. You said
Okay.
I won. I didn't know I was fighting for anything,
Oh, yeah, you were fighting for
or
my
battling.
love and respect, and you got it.
Okay, great. But it sounds like I won.
Yes, you did
So tell me
win.
what you pulled.
Okay, so I pulled an Altaria EX full art, Garchomp EX, the terrestrialized one, full art.
Hmm, hmm.
Let's see. I also pulled 2 Ritas, like I said before. I pulled the, oh man, what's it called? The sassy bird from the desert.
Oh,
Asperia?
fucking yes.
Esparta?
God, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Let me just tell you, I had
Yes.
a
Okay.
negative, like, visceral reaction when I pulled it because I that bird is on my team inside of the game and it never listens to me. I tell it to do
Oh,
something and
because
it
it's
just
too high level.
does not. Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
I thought it was just its personality. I was like, "Why aren't you listening to me?" Okay, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, so I
no.
got that one.
Well done.
I
Well done.
got Sandy Shock's EX full art, not the full art, sorry, the art rare, where it's, like, stomping
Yes.
through the
Yes,
ground.
I saw it.
So cool.
Yeah.
And
And
then
that's another one that's oddly very not expensive.
I think it's, like, $8.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
that's the
crazy
same
because
thing
the
with the Rever
artists.
Room. The Rever Room's in alt art
Yeah,
for in Obsidian Flames for $4. I think that's
it's
I mean, same with the
so
Ice Cube.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What was your biggest pull?
The biggest pull was the Sandy Shocks.
Oh, interesting. That's rough.
Yeah.
So, I got really lucky in my
You
pulls,
got both Mellas.
right? And that's why I'm scared to open more. If I open more, am I going to be
You're just gonna be
So
disappointed.
that's what I'm hearing, right? Like I'm hearing a lot about Paradox Rift. First, I bet you anything you didn't have any double bangers. Is that correct?
Oh, no, not like 151. Uh-uh.
Right, exactly. I didn't come across any of that. I'm hearing that doesn't exist anymore.
That's
I don't know if that's
crazy.
just a pure luck or what.
Yeah,
So
it might
that's a
be it.
factor, right? That's going to affect pricing of the sealed product and the singles. I think what this will do is make sealed product worth a little bit less because the pull rates are lower.
Mhm.
It seems like compared to Paldea Evolved, Paradox Rift is about 75% less pulls. That's just my guess at it.
Yeah, and you have to open up more packs to really hit anything,
Yeah.
like, out of
Oh,
a
and
whole
it's
booster
huge.
box. A
It's a
whole Yeah.
huge set.
I think I opened over 45 packs or 50 packs, and I didn't get anything. Like, my whole thing is I like buying singles
Do you?
because I know what I'm getting.
Yes.
And, like, I don't have to basically gamble, because low key, I
Right.
have
I
a
see.
gambling
Yeah.
addiction, when it comes to
Okay.
Pokemon
Well, that's
cards.
something we can discuss. Yes. So, I mean, these are all considerations on the value. So, with
Mhm.
Paradox Rift, I think it's going to be a good set. I think Scarlet and Violet Base, Paldea Evolved, and Paradox Rift are all going to be home runs.
Yeah.
Come 2 years from now, everything feels like when Astral Radiance first came out. All the cards were depressed in value, and now we're seeing them rise.
Yeah.
Well, compared to the benchmark, that's just my own analysis. We'll talk more about that later. But Paradox Rift. Oh, what am I looking for? You asked me that
Yeah,
question.
what are you chasing? Your top 3
The
cards.
Tapu Koko. The Tapu Koko is gorgeous. It's a different art
It is
style
so nice.
than
There's
I've
no
seen before.
lines. There's no outline. It makes it
Oh,
pop.
really?
Yeah.
That's something you notice as an artist. I don't notice
It's so
it.
nice.
The Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant obviously are gorgeous,
Mhm.
but they seem like they're like designed to be the top cards, and that makes me not want them as
I
much.
see what you mean. Yeah.
But like, do you have the top one you're looking for?
Yes, so I have, a couple. So, the first one is Garbodor because I think the colors are so nice, and he's like a little chonk up on a pile of trash, and he's like, "Arr," you know?
Okay,
So
okay. Oh,
cute. Yeah,
yeah, it is super
the
cute, yes.
Garbodor is super cute. I also want, which one is it? I think the Mantike is really nice. I think
Oh,
it's really
that's yeah, you
cute.
don't see Mantike very often
Yeah!
in the cards, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, so the last 2, Swablu, I think it's giving me the Starly, Galarian Gallery vibes, you know? I
Mhm.
I like that he's kind of blending in with the other birds, it's really cute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then the last one is
Yeah.
Larry, just because it's the most basic, normal card you could possibly have, and it absolutely fits his personality.
Oh my god, I can't do
I
it.
love Larry.
So, Mela seems to be the 3rd most valuable
I
card.
can't believe that.
Um,
Like, that card where
really?
she's
I
sitting.
expected it to be Tulip. Oh, but Tulip doesn't have an art rare.
Yeah.
Sorry, a special art rare. Tulip, I expected when her release came that she'd be the top. Like, again,
Wait, I think
I
she
don't
does
like
have a
this
special
concept.
art rare. I think it's with Dendra.
I thought it was just a full art.
Yeah, so she has a card here where she's putting makeup on Dendra.
What? I have not seen that.
Look up Tulip 259.
And that sounds amazing, actually.
It's so nice.
Oh, wait, I love that.
Isn't
So
it?
this is exactly what I imagined. I look, my guess would have been that this would be the top card
Yeah, is
in the
it?
same way Iona was. But maybe Tulip looks too old for the waifu people.
Yeah, that's a
Um
whole other thing. So gross. You know what really bothers me?
Tell me.
Poppy. That
Of
bothered me.
course, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, Poppy's so confusing. On the
Yeah.
first level for me is how is a 3-year-old a Pokemon master?
Yeah.
Um when Ash was said to be too young at 12 or something, or was he too old, or am I
Uh-huh.
confusing him with Luke
I think it was too
Skywalker or
young.
something? Uh, but yeah, I mean, Poppy makes no sense.
Mm-mm.
But this tulip card, I'm the first time I'm seeing it. You guys should look it up if you're listening along. But
Mhm.
if you're not familiar with it, it
It's
is. I
just
love
so
it. She's
beautiful.
working on Dendra, and it's a whole makeup set. The colors are. It's not a lot of color, but it feels like there are a lot of colors, but they're not like too much.
Yeah,
I don't know what
and
it is.
they're
I
all
don't know what it is.
complementary. They're all within, like, the same hues, and they're kinda changing the hues on certain parts of the card to make that pop out. So, like,
Yeah.
also, I don't know if you noticed, but the makeup palette that Tulip is holding is actually a Pokeball. And then,
I just noticed.
yeah, Dendra's holding a manga of something Pokemon related too.
Oh,
It's really cool.
yes.
The
Okay,
detail
wait,
in
I need
this
to look
one's
up this artist.
epic.
The artist is Akira
Akira
Oh, I've heard
Egawa.
of Akira Egawa.
Uh-huh.
That sounds like somebody that I would love the arts of. I think they have so most recently they did the Tulip, but they also did the Mewtwo, for 151.
Mhm.
They're
Oh,
also
that
the
was
one that
them?
did the SIR for Charizard EX in Obsidian Flames. They did the Pikachu V Union. Yeah, this artist is very and they did the okay. They're the ones that did the Giratina, Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia V-Star.
The 4 cards? The Gold Gods?
Yes, of
That's
course. Okay.
wild. They did all 4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That makes a lot of sense. This artist, and they also did one of my favorite cards, which is the Mew VMAX, the alt art one.
Oh, that one's
Okay.
nice.
Anyway, I'll be
I'll be looking out for this one.
fanboying over this artist later. Apparently, they only started during Unified Minds, but I'm glad they're using them more and more.
That's Sun and Moon era, right?
Yes, yes, Unified Mind. Okay, I love that. Those are our thoughts on Paradox Rift.
Mhm.
Let's dive into some news.
Okay.
So you want to share your first news story with me?
Yeah, you got it. Okay, so it's not so much a news story, but I did find something on dark Pokemon lore
Okay.
that will change how you look at the games.
Okay.
So, off the top of your head, what is the darkest lore that you can think of when it comes to Pokemon?
The darkest lore?
Yeah, like the most messed up thing in like the card, just like the Pokédex.
I would pick Lavender Town, but maybe it's the fact that, like, we don't know where the ghost Pokemon come from, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's really creepy.
Um,
And, like, I've seen people talking about, like, a ghost type Eevee, but then what that means is an Eevee has to die, you know? And it's just so sad.
well, I mean, I think we know that Pokemon die. But no, you have to tell me because I can come up with 1,000 things before I reach what you're thinking of.
Okay, so off the top of my head, the top 2 that I'm thinking of are Drifloon and Cubone. So
Yes,
Drifloon, like, their
yes,
Pokédex entry
yes,
says that they, carry children away, which is
yes.
just
Yeah,
wrong.
that's
And then
hilarious.
Cubone, one of your favorite Pokemon,
Yes.
is that, he wears the head of or the skull of his dead mother, which is
Right.
just so
That's
dark and so
crushing,
sad.
that's crushing,
It is
yeah.
crushing.
But also, like, anyway, that opens a whole can of worms, but that no, keep going, I need to know
Are you
more.
sure? Wait, now I'm interested in what you have to say.
No, I was just gonna say, like, to me, like, how is a Cubone born? Does their mother have to die for them to be born?
Oh my
And, like,
god.
Gen 1 didn't have a lot of thought behind it, I think,
But all the
um,
Cubones
because if you
have
think
the
because if
skulls.
the Cubone where do they get their skull if their mother is alive?
Yeah,
Or does the mother have to necessarily die? And then there would always be one-to-one ratio of Cubone and Marowak.
that is so sad.
Um,
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god.
right, so that's where my mind went when I read that,
Yeah.
and, mathematically, there has to be a Cubone without a skull.
Yeah.
It's like saying that every living human has to have a parent that died for them, which the math wouldn't work out, right? Like,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's where my mind
Oh
goes.
my god.
But keep going, keep going.
Okay, so some of these Pokédex entries are honestly truly traumatizing. Um, but
Yes.
what I've noticed when reading cards, and I'm so happy this article actually touches on it, is that mega evolutions are really painful and just kind of like the efficacy, I guess. Is that the word? The ethics behind mega evolving your Pokemon. So
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
with every Pokemon generation, there's been a new mechanic or, like, something different that kinda makes it stand out, especially with
Right,
the TCG.
right.
Uh, but some of these transformations, so the Mega Evolutions, for example, completely transform the
Yeah.
way that the Pokemon looks. On the surface, it's just, a temporary form of in-game evolution where the Pokemon can return back to the normal form, but some of the Pokédex entries are truly haunting. So
Yeah.
some of them say that it's an artificial progress that mucks around with the Pokemon's biology in very dangerous ways. So, the Glalie Mega EX, I believe, Mega Glalie EX,
Mhm.
their jaw is snapped in half during the transformation. Aerodactyl
What?
has spines.
Wait, this is in the Pokédex?
Yeah, Mega
Oh, man, I've
Aerodactyl.
read some dark
Yeah. Has, like, bones coming out of its spine that erupted painfully from the skin.
Mhm.
Gyarados, for example, he's always angry, but when he mega evolves, he's basically lobotomized by the fins that come out of his head. And he
Okay.
is completely unresponsive to his trainers, so like you're very lucky if you can get a command in. Uh
What?
yeah. It's really, really
This is
bad. Yeah,
terrible.
some of
What
them
what is
like
me like, who wrote this?
some sick individual. Mega Scizor and Mega Houndoom, they produce so much energy that they actually start melting until they come down from their mega evolution. So
That is
it's sick.
who like, somebody had to decide
Yeah,
this.
exactly. It's really, really bad.
Well,
And then another one that I saw was actually that Pokemon comics are
mhm,
the Pokemon game is very, very washed down in PG compared to the comics. So, in the original comics with red and blue and green, uh, they
mhm.
take a lot of liberties and it's actually a lot darker. So, it's like the Brothers Grimm version of a Disney movie. There's
Mm.
a zombie Pokemon, Arbok decapitated by Charmeleon in the Pokemon Adventures manga. It's just
This
an
is canon?
incredibly yeah, it's an incredibly violent like manga series.
Oh my.
Giovanni
This is
orders
beyond
his
my
yeah, Giovanni orders Cloyster to freeze a pair of Magmar. Um, Human protagonists are impaled. It's dark. So,
that is horrifying.
yeah. So I don't know what this says about me as a person, but it makes me wanna read the manga to see what else they came up with.
I mean, I've never read the manga, so I'm ignorant to quite a bit, but, that is bizarre and,
Messed up.
beyond what I want from my Pokemon.
Yeah.
Uh, alright, hit me with your second
With my
story.
best shot. Okay. So, I brought this up last time we were streaming, and we were, I believe, in Messagoza, and
Sure.
I was looking at all the restaurants, and I was like, "Concher soup." So it kind of brought me down this
Oh,
rabbit
yeah,
hole
yeah, yeah.
of what humans in the Pokemon multiverse eat, and they eat Pokemon. So,
I
it's
mean, yeah, I
it's,
mean,
like,
if you think
so
about it, like
crazy, though.
but I mean, they have to eat like, they're not vegans.
I feel like I'd be vegan at that point if there's a Pokemon talking to me, like, I'm not gonna have a Clauncher and then go and eat Clauncher soup. What would that do for the psyche of my Clauncher?
Do they talk to us?
Yeah, like Pikachu with Ash, where he's like, "Pika, Pika, Pika," and Ash
Okay, okay, I
understands.
hear you, but doesn't your cat kinda do that or your dog also?
Yeah, exactly, and I wouldn't eat a cat or a dog.
I mean, cows can do the same thing as cats and dogs, though.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
that's
let's not go
true.
down this road. I think
Okay.
you're not gonna
Yeah, 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 that's true, that's true.
gonna end up making everyone a vegan. But here's my thing, right, about that.
Yes.
I've always thought about that because there aren't what do you
There's
think
no actual
like
cows or
no, there are.
crabs, and
Like, not real cows, but they have, like, the moo
they
what
have
is
a
what's she
milk tank.
Miltank.
Yeah,
Yeah, Miltank. I mean,
the moo
come
moo
on. Or
milk.
Taurus,
Yeah.
or, like, what do you think they do to Flapples?
Oh god, don't even tell me.
Or, like, Smoliv? Come on.
Oh, a stuffed Smoliv, that's so sad.
Or Cactoon, like, these are all vegetable animals.
Instead of hummus, it's,
Um,
smallest.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Hummiv.
um,
But
I mean, you see animals in the Pokemon or, like, Pokemon in the Pokemon world being put to work and labor, like, why would they not be farmed,
yeah,
for food?
that's true.
And, Bulbasaur has a bulb. I don't know if what it grows is edible. I mean, you can eat its back. I don't know.
That's so gross. It's
And
like it's part of the
Clauncher,
salad,
pro yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's logical. I mean, I understand why it's shocking,
but it's logical.
but
Yeah. Well, okay, I have a
yeah, I
question
mean,
for you. Did you know that
yeah.
Farfetch'd nearly went extinct?
Excuse me?
Yeah. So,
So, Farfetch'd is
Farfetch'd
my favorite Pokemon. It's not even close.
yeah, so humans love to eat Farfetch'd, and it nearly went into extinction because it was, hunted so much. So, they're supposedly rare Pokemon, which kudos to you for liking him, because they were hunted by hungry humans. So, the reason they like them so much is because they already have the leek, so they don't have to go and get the leeks to cook with the
Right.
Farfetch'd.
Yes, that's the joke.
Uh, so, like, the reason they're so far and few between in the wild is because I guess they have to hide from these savage
That's
humans that
yeah,
were
that's probably why I had a hard
literally
time
just
finding them when I was a tiny human.
yeah,
Um, it
it's
was really
so
frustrating
gross.
because it was my favorite Pokemon. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, that's devastating.
Did you know that Pokemon eat Pokemon?
That one I think I knew. Um, for canon, I think I knew that. I think in a Pokédex entry. Yeah, that's the other thing. In Pokédex entries, they talk about them being like delectable or whatever.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it's so
so
bad.
like I think I've known that like forever. Yeah, but I guess I
It's
should be
just,
more
like, in the
shocked.
back of your head, but it's not something
Yeah,
that
I've never like actively thought about it, but I've always
shocks
thought about
you.
like,
Yeah.
the vegetable Pokemon. Like, isn't there like other fruit Pokemon,
Uh,
not just Flapple?
Smoliv, Dolliv.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think of
Oh,
other
man,
ones.
Hoppip?
Yeah, that's just like a cotton ball.
Isn't Hoppip the pink one?
Yeah. It's like a
A
radish.
little
It looks
radish,
like, but they're
yeah.
to me, I think like they're a young cotton plant.
Yeah.
Because they grow up into be I don't know, jump love. Can you eat ghost Pokemon? Probably not.
Probably not. I feel like there's nothing to eat there.
Uh,
Mhm.
because though normal doesn't affect them. I don't know. How does normal not affect ghost type, but rock type does?
I have no clue. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's bizarre and weird, and I don't know why they had to design it that way. They could have just made Pokemon part of our world with real animals, but
Mhm.
here we are.
Yeah, I
What,
agree.
25 years later? Yeah,
25 years
26 years
later.
later.
Well, a little more than 25, right? Because the 25th
Yeah,
anniversary.
because the 25th anniversary was 2 years ago,
Yeah,
so 27 years.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right, what did you come up with?
My story is not really a specific story. This one is by Helena Vesti.
Okay.
It's by the Manchester Evening News, but that's not the only source that reported on this. The only reason I'm picking this is because I saw so many news outlets in the UK report on it. But here's the headline:
Okay.
Childhood Pokemon cards left gathering dust in bedroom for decades could net thousands at auction. Okay, that's not to me. That's not shocking. This happened yesterday, apparently, or this was published yesterday, and a bunch of these articles were too. Now, the reason I don't find this, for
Shocking.
one, I don't find it interesting or shocking because how long have we been hearing people say, like, "Look for your Pokemon card."
Years. Since 2020.
Yeah, and everyone's been talking like, "You gotta find your Pokemon cards, they're gonna make you a lot of money."
Yeah.
Like, we're now in 2023. Like, this is like, if you haven't looked for your Pokemon cards already, you're
You're
way
doing
behind. I
something
mean, good for
wrong.
you if you find them. They're probably they're probably worth more today. I mean, they're showing a picture, and a lot of the cards he has seem to be base set or Team Rocket,
Mhm.
or, that Charizard doesn't even look real to me, but, or the Delta species, and the last one I'm seeing a lot of is Skyridge, which is, like, one of the most valuable ones in the e-reader era.
Yes.
Um,
Those reverse
so
hollows?
obviously, if you have Skyridge, yeah, I know, and if you have a bunch of Skyridge reverse hollows, you're in. I wanted to buy the Farfetch reverse hollow from Skyridge, and that was way so expensive for a Farfetch. Nobody cares about Farfetch. I'm the only one. Um,
You heard it here,
so
folks. If you don't like your Farfetch cards, send them to Panic.
yes, I will take 100% of all Farfetch cards, but the problem is Farfetch doesn't have any, like, that the Skyridge is the only big one Farfetch has, and I don't think they intended on it being big.
Mm-mm.
But it was expensive for me to buy because there's no way I'm cracking that open from a Skyridge booster box.
That's even more expensive, only for the chance to not get it.
Yeah, so there's no way I'll get it from opening packs. But the reason I wanna mention this story is I think it's so interesting that maybe we live in a bubble maybe. But to this day, like, people haven't looked at their Pokemon cards and thought, "Whoa, this might be a lot of money." Like, Pokemon have been in the news so much,
Mhm.
but maybe I have a bad sample. And that's why I wanted to mention it is like, how is this still making news this long? But something related. So people getting excited about finding Pokemon cards, I don't think that's that rare. The other one is people being shocked that a Pokemon card lost a lot of value. Now, again,
Yeah.
my expertise in the world is financial economics and valuation. Um, and I think the way normal people, everyday people talk about value frustrates me. So this article is related in the sense that it's equally in the this is not that shocking bucket. It's by Matt Bassel from wargamer.com. And I've seen it in other places, I think. It says the
Okay.
Umbreon Pokemon card lost $8,000 in value in 9 months. First of all, super misleading.
Yeah, because there's
Because
no way it was $8,000 to
yeah,
begin with.
right. So the Umbreon, the VMAX, the alt art that we're talking about today is a card about 500 something dollars. I think the high that it reached was 700. But in
Mhm.
this case, and there are multiple articles on this. Maybe I don't know if it's the same article published on different platforms, but I don't think that this should be a headline. And I'll tell you why. So somebody in February of 2023, at the height of the Evolving Skies hype, like the
Yeah.
craziness over the singles,
The Moonbreon chase.
bought a Beckett Perfect Umbreon VMAX alt art, the
For
Moonbreon, if
how
you will,
much?
$12,000.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, what?
I mean, at the
Isn't
time,
it like $1,000
um,
at most?
that's
PSA
for a
10?
PSA 10. So, but a Beckett Perfect is better than a
Is
PSA
that
10
better? Oh, wow.
because a PSA 10 is the same as like a Beckett 9.5, or even how I collect CGC 9.5
Yeah,
and how they changed that to a 10.
yeah,
It's because PSA, anything above a 9, like 9.5 and up, they would consider a 10. So it's
okay.
not hard to get a PSA 10. It's really hard to get a Beckett Perfect. There's a Beckett and CGC
Is
Pristine.
that the black label?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
that sold for 12,000. Now, not the same car, not the same slab. Sold recently for 4,000. Now, this is headlines because those I think might be the last two that have sold in the last year because they're that rare. I
Oh, that
think.
guy's
I
probably
think.
pissed.
No, but here's the thing, right? Like in February 2023 at $12,000, that's probably what the market agreed on. Now, the market is what the person is whoever owns it is willing to sell it for, the bottom line, and what the most someone is willing to pay. It's that equilibrium or where they meet.
Oh.
So that's the
I
value
didn't
of
know that.
something.
I thought TCG Player just set the market. So
No.
how does that work with TCG Player then?
So it might be easier if I explain stocks real quick.
Okay.
So with stocks, you see when you see like, Google at 1,000 whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then the next minute it's 1,002 whatever.
Mhm.
Um,
Then the next minute it drops to $9.95.
Nobody is setting that price. Nobody is choosing that price. There are like thousands of buy orders and thousands of sell orders. Like if I wanted to buy or sell,
Mhm.
or let's say I wanted to sell, okay? And I say I will sell one stock at 1,000.
Right.
I'll sell two stocks at 1,005. I'll sell 20 stocks at 1,010. And then you will say I will buy one stock at 1,005. I'll buy 10 stocks at 990, and I'll buy 3,000 stocks at 900.
It would be 1,005
And
because that's your
that's
baseline,
where we
right? Or
meet.
your
That's where we meet.
okay.
But if your highest bid and my lowest offer don't match, we never sell or buy each other.
Okay.
But the stock market is so effective and so big, um, and it's so useful because you have thousands of orders of buy and sell, and the variation from 1 second to the other is always so minimal because there's so many orders. If I had Google shares and I had to sell them in person, I would have to like stand in the street like they did in the old times and say, I'm willing to sell. That's when you see the floor of Wall Street like always like with things in their hands.
Yeah.
Those are orders,
Oh, wow.
and they're trying to find people to match. So
So those are all
let's
like
say
the
I'm
people like jumping around in front of the screens with papers in their hands.
right. That's how it used to be. They've changed it, I think, in 2021. Now it's all
Only took
digital.
a decade. Okay.
A decade, it's a century. No,
Years.
thousands of years.
Yeah, thousands
I
of
think the
years.
first stock market in Wall Street started like in 1700, where like people would meet in around that area to trade
Dear God. Okay.
stocks. But anyway, no.
I didn't know
Stock
that.
market history aside, a market price is decided by the market because that's where the buyers and sellers meet. Now in TCG Player, you and I sell cards and we buy cards,
Yeah.
right? It's a bit different in TCG Player because the prices are posted already. Okay, they're not actively being updated every second.
Who posts the
Um,
prices
we do.
when we sell?
We say we will sell our product at market low. Market low is determined by purchases. So let's say I post something for 10, you post something for 12, someone else posts something for 14,
Mhm.
and 20 other people post the same thing. We're all posting the same thing for $12, but I have mine at 10. Mine will sell first because it's the cheapest and it's the same thing. Let's say it's all one pack of Evolving Sky, whatever.
Right.
Mine will sell at 10, but now the only $10 offer is gone. So if you really want an Evolving Skies pack, you need to pay the $12 or wait until someone offers less than $12.
Until someone else offers a
So,
market low.
right. So until that happens, if you want to buy, you're stuck at the $12 price.
Okay.
And if you're selling at 14, you have to wait for all the $12 offers to sell out before your someone will buy your product. When you price yours at $14, you're betting that the market is gonna reach your price eventually, because otherwise you wouldn't put that price. If you knew that the market price today is the only price, you would put it at the market price if you wanted to sell.
Okay.
So, what, in February of 2023, whoever wanted to sell that Beckett Perfect, the black label, would only sell at 12,000, and they found someone who would buy it at 12,000. Maybe it was an auction. So then auction works by setting a base price, and then buyers compete with each other, and the seller is comfortable with whatever happens after that.
Okay.
They could set a reserve price, whatever. And then the same thing happened a few weeks ago or whatever, and it happens to be where the prices met was at 3,800. It doesn't necessarily mean that the value of the card went down in that long.
It's just a
because
different.
these are 2 sales.
Yeah.
These are 2 sales. It's a very scarce item that doesn't trade very much. If you want the real value of the Umbreon VMAX, the alt art, the Umbreon, go to TCG Player, go to price charting, whatever. Look at the sales. They're much more iterative.
Mhm.
Does that word make
Yeah.
sense? Like there's a lot of iteration. It's just a lot of small differences from one sale to the other because that's how markets work. If something's really rare, like one of a kind error,
Yeah.
right? When it sells, that's the agreed upon value. And when it sells again, that's the updated value. But that's not necessarily accurate because a proper market and proper value needs everyone to know about the product and everyone who has it to offer at the same time. That's the impossibility of economics. You can't have everybody know about like I didn't know that this was up for sale. Maybe I would have bought it for 4,500 if I knew about it.
Yeah. But not every.
So that's not the true value.
Exactly.
If not, like if I posted it on Craigslist and you posted yours on eBay, we're probably going to sell at different prices
Mhm.
because of the platform.
Exactly.
So it's not a fair comparison to say this sold here, this sold there, and
It's an
that's a
$8,000
drop in
difference.
value.
Yeah.
And it's a misleading headline.
It's clickbait.
It's a misleading concept. It
Yeah.
is. And what frustrates me about it is it shows as if like the Pokemon market is in decline. It's not.
It's actually in an incline.
Right, overall. But if you look at all these cards that were really hyped early this year and late last year, they are down for the year. But most cards over time, like the stock market, like anything of value, when you include inflation into the mix, everything over time will go up in value. Now, adjusted for inflation is a different conversation. I don't want to dive into economics here. But
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
yeah, well, if you're listening to this, go look for your old Pokemon cards, please.
Yeah.
So I don't see your name in a headline 5 years from now. Go make your money now. Or start collecting again. Or collect more.
Yeah, this is your call to start collecting.
But the Umbreon Pokemon card did not lose $8,000 in value in 9 months.
No, it's I feel like it's gonna go up again. Like it's just kind of like the Miriam in Scarlet and Violet base.
Yeah.
It is criminally low right now.
Oh, for sure. And we put out a list of cards that I analyzed as they will go up in
Mhm.
value in the future. In our
Yeah.
website, on our website, under our blogs and our Instagram.
Yeah.
So, and we'll obviously have all those things in the notes. So, those are my stories, long-winded.
I love it. I learned a lot today.
Do you have any more stories?
Well, I kind of just wanted to touch on the Van Gogh promo. Because
Right,
I think
right. We were gonna do,
yeah, it
we
was
were
like
gonna
in the
talk about that,
spotlight
yeah.
for what, like 2 weeks?
You got 2, right? And one of them's for me, right?
Yes. So one for you, one for me.
Okay.
And then I
I
also
just don't want you to see that number go up and be like, actually, Pandy.
no, it's for you. It's reserved.
I'm so excited about
Yeah,
it. I didn't try to get it because I knew you had one.
I got a Pikachu plush and then a Straw Hat Eevee figure.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm so relieved.
The only reason I was able to like grab a couple was I woke up. Right as I woke up, I got a notification on Twitter that they were live, and I went in and I grabbed them. And I was like,
Crazy,
oh, maybe I
crazy.
should go and get some more. And then they were sold out. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
But yeah, I was so disgusted by those videos coming out of the Van Gogh Museum. Because I feel like, well, okay, so there's 2 parts to this. First is the scalpers,
Yeah.
and then second
Yeah.
is just the stupid. I'm sorry, Pokemon, but
Mhm.
the inability to plan for the demand that was about to come. You know, so
Mhm.
first we'll start with the scalpers. It was
Right.
very careless.
It was
The
careless, yeah.
Pokemon Center International, company, and then the Van Gogh Museum put together a really cool scavenger hunt meant for kids and collectors to go
Right,
in,
right,
go through the museum, look at the art, like really
right.
admire all the work that was put into this because this is like months in the making. And
Right.
it would have been nice to have like a walkthrough, like someone do a walkthrough of going through the museum and
Right.
doing that scavenger hunt, and then at the end, like showcasing for those of us that can't go to the Netherlands willy-nilly, you know? Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but instead, what we got out of that event was a bunch of middle-aged men pushing kids aside, destroying,
Right,
like, private property,
right.
stealing, and essentially getting all of this product that should have been going to kids and, like,
Mhm.
actual collectors rather than going to people that are looking to flip a quick buck.
Yeah,
So I just thought it was so infuriating watching that happen because it gives
yeah.
the hobby a bad name, you know? Like, we're not all.
And they canceled it,
Yeah,
like
they canceled it. The promos were supposed to be given out until, like, January 8th, I believe, and they canceled it less than a week in. So,
mm.
the other thing also is I think Pokemon needs to do a better job about, like, setting up anti-bot technology. Like, they have so much money. They should set up a way to filter out the bots on their website to stop
Right, right,
these
right.
pilferers essentially from stealing product that they don't
Yeah.
even want in the to begin with, you know? So,
Right,
it's
right.
just so frustrating, and, like, the other frustrating thing was instead of 1 promo per purchase to really slow down and give other people the chance to buy the the products and the cards, it was
Yeah,
1 promo per item, promotional item that you bought.
yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, these bots are gonna go in and add, like, 50 different Straw Hat figures into their
Yeah,
carts and get
yeah.
50 different promos. And then on top of that, once those are sold out, the people that are not scammers are going in, buying, and then the Pokemon company, Pokemon Center, is shipping out those orders, saying we're out of promos.
Without the
Yeah,
promo.
don't
Yeah,
even give them a chance to cancel, and they still send
yeah.
them the stuff. Okay, then when they
Yeah, and
restock the
they can't
promos.
refund, yeah.
Exactly, when they restock the
Yeah,
promos.
and then yeah.
Oh my god, that was so frustrating. When they restock.
Again, I was so glad to be on the outside of that because you had my
Yeah.
back.
It was
Um,
just
I was
it
relaxing.
was too much because
Yeah.
yes, they changed their policy to 1 per order, I believe, but
Order.
they didn't
Yeah.
print enough promos, so again, they're canceling orders or sending out the orders without. I don't know. I was looking through Twitter and I saw just so much backlash towards the Pokemon International, and I agree,
Mhm.
like, I think there need to be better methods in place to stop these scalpers from
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
grabbing all this product. Because right now that card's going for hundreds of dollars. Still.
Right, 130 last I
Yeah,
checked, yeah.
130. I think that's market price
I
on
check I
TCG.
check market value daily,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So crazy.
That's, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But with that, that's kind of the rundown.
Yeah.
And again, thanks everybody for joining us for the our first podcast, Prison Break, Out of the Pokeball with Pixel and Panic. Any parting thoughts, Pixel?
Yeah, y'all, be sure to check out our website. So we've put a lot of work into it. We have prices that are 5% lower than TCG. It's www.pixelandpanic.com. We also have a Discord, which will be shared in the show notes.
Mhm.
We stream on Twitch, and we are setting up a loyalty point program where you can get really cool stuff for watching us on Twitch, essentially. Uh,
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
yeah, we have a lot of really cool things. We're hoping that by 2025, we have a brick and mortar store in Washington, DC. So help
Hopefully
us make
sooner. Yeah.
that yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
sooner. So help us make that dream a reality.
That's our magnum opus.
Mhm.
But yeah, super excited. We're gonna be on Twitch quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna be pumping out a good amount of pretty funky, I would say, content.
Yes.
But yeah, to wrap up, thanks guys, and hope to see you in about a week. Goodbye.
Catch us on Twitch.